Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you, parents, for making time to be here with us. Welcome to our first 2023 Mission Progressing Together meeting. Thank you for being here. We have a lot of information that we would like to share with you. But first of all, I want to thank all our administrators being here this morning, as well as our parents. Next, we're going to go to the announcements, and we want to welcome Dr. Mesa, our Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Ms. Flor. I'd like our parents, thank you, Happy New Year. This is our first meeting of the second semester, and we continue to bring more information to you so that you can help make better choices and that we can continue collaborating as we work with our children. They're yours for a little bit, but they're also ours for a majority part of the day. With that being stated, San Elizario I.S.D. is going to have a board meeting in this very room tomorrow. At 5:30, so please, you are welcome to be here. And then it just creeps upon us. We have 100 days of school, which is going to happen for us on January 24th, and I'm sure that we have a lot of different events happening throughout our district to celebrate the 100 days of school. In addition, we are going to continue with our Mission Progressing Together meetings. Remember that you get these meetings in English and in Spanish, and we always do a follow-up with our newsletter, so keep that in mind. There's also going to be a math bee at Zambrano, Borrego, and Alarcón, and it's to start the program in January, and this is to help build the math skills for students, and parents will assist with math facts. And then we also have the Latino Literacy Kickoff, which begins Friday, February 3rd, 2023. I don't know if I see our colleagues that are here for the literary anthology, but we are going to share more information. I do want to encourage the individuals who get our information for the literary anthology. That'll be coming from Ms. Ana Alvarez and Ms. Georgina Diaz, where we invite you, our parents, to also participate in our literary anthology. Last year we had about 9 entries from parents. We're going to encourage you that once again this year, let's get all of our parents involved in our literary anthology, and that's going to be coming up later this spring. With that being said, remember that this Mission Progressing Together parent meeting is for us to be able to give you information to help collaborate. It's Mission Progressing Together. We want to make sure that our students are the ones that are the benefactors of our collaboration. With that being said, I will be, along with administrators, will be here at the close of meeting so that we can help answer any questions that may rise. And in addition, I want to ensure that you know that we will be here to answer those questions. And so if you have any questions, we will try our best to answer them. If we don't have the answers, then you know that you receive this electronic newsletter where we'll try to fill in the information as we come across it, and we'll get that to you. I did see that I had our colleagues from the Literary Anthology 2023, and so I'm going to have these beautiful ladies come on over. If I can have Ms. Ana Alvarez and Ms. Georgina Diaz, they'll be able to share some information with you.
Thank you, Dr. Mesa Chavez. Good morning and welcome, everybody. Today we want to come to you with an exciting opportunity. Around this time 1 year ago, we were speaking about this, but once again, we're inviting everybody to participate in this year's San Elizario I.S.D. Literary Anthology. This year, our theme is Sueños, Find the Dream and Soar. Everyone has a dream. What is yours? Be a part of history and share your dream. Winners will be part of our district anthology and will be invited to attend the celebratory luncheon on Monday, May 15th, 2023. This is invited to all parents, grandparents, community members. We want to hear from you, and don't be worried if you don't know what to write about. We have workshop dates coming up for everybody. So those will be on Friday, January 20th at 9:30 a.m., Monday, February 20th at 9 a.m., and Friday, March 3rd at 9 a.m. here at Central Office. All submissions will be due Friday, March 24th. So we invite you all to tell us what your dream is, what have you been able to accomplish, share your story with us. And my name is Ms. Ana Alvarez. I'm the Secondary Instructional Officer for RLA and Social Studies, and also helping me with this project is my partner,
Good morning, my name is Georgina Diaz and I'm your elementary instructional officer, and we look forward to your submissions, and we're excited to see what this year brings us.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Just like Ms. Alvarez and Ms. Diaz shared the information, all that information is on your clipboards and we'll be sending it home to share as well. Next, we have Ms. Rita Monsivais. She's coming from Region 19 and she's going to be giving us information, providing information regarding Title III.
Well, thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning, parents. It is such an honor for me to be here with the San Elizario community, something close to my heart. I started teaching here 27 years ago, so I love this place. And every time the Cowboys win, I don't know, but there's like a little more kick in my step. Cowboys fans in the house. I am here to talk about our passion, which is dual language. So as you see, above me are the dual language program benefits. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have my clicker here. So when I took on a role of being the Title III person at Region 19, I knew it was my heart. It was to be with my emergent bilingual students and to work with so many people that I have gotten to know, that I consider friends and colleagues that I love. It's just amazing for us to know and to see what is the research behind this dual language thing that everyone talks about. And I was so excited to see that on the San Elizario website, yay, your mission actually had your dual language statement, which is to be that we're going to develop highly competent bilingual and biliterate students while fostering academic success and cultural awareness by meeting the needs, the affective, the linguistic, and cognitive needs in both languages. So as I like to say, that's a lot of taco. Yes, that's a lot of information for us as parents to process, because we only want what's best for our students. They are our family. I know as a mom of two, I have a freshman in high school and a freshman in college. I know how important it is for my children to be biliterate. So here it is. What does research have to say? So these are the pillars of dual language program. I think you can see this on top here. And it says, why does a bilingual program exist? Why does bilingual education exist? How did it come to be? So as we see here, it came, the Bilingual Education Act is from 1968, and it progressed into Law versus Nichols, a Supreme Court case, and then most recently we're looking at how it is that the state of Texas is going to support bilingual education for our students. And the key thing in this slide is making sure that we recognize, right, that the state was able to say there's a lack of support for our English language instruction. And this was back then a straight violation of our students' civil rights. So what is it? Yes, what is dual language education? Dual language is an instructional model that we see in order to have our students process in both languages. So if you're like me, you know, I was born in Mexico, I'm from Piedras Negras, Coahuila. I go home to my sweet mother who's 85 and still to this day does not speak English. I love it. She lives in the border community where everybody caters to her because she's super cute. And they're like, ay, sí, señora Monsivais, you know? And so I understand the passion that comes from having my mother tongue, which is Spanish. So I process everything in Spanish, and then I have to process and say, oh, let's process that in English. So what happens when we have dual language education? We have our students have 50% of that instruction in English, and then they have 50% of that instruction in Spanish. So there's a lot of myths that come when it comes to bilingual education, because a couple of years ago, our parents were saying, we're gonna deny the bilingual program. And they would say in Spanish, they would tell me, you know what? It's because I want my child to learn English. And I would say, oh, okay, well, let's talk about this and let's process what it is that it means to be in a dual language. So the beauty is processing that academic content in Spanish English. Another thing is that our teacher does not translate. That is another myth. For a teacher to be saying, oh no, ¿recuerdas el micrófono? Then we do not kick back and forth into English and Spanish. That's very natural for us to do. It's called translanguaging. And I'll tell you that, I can process in Spanish and go back and forth. Back in the day, it's harder for us to say, okay, I'm processing something English and Spanish, but yet as a parent, we need to understand that dual language is going to give your child that instruction first in their native language, and then they're going to go into English. So students, what is the most important thing that they need? They need the support of families in order for us to bring this program forward. And as evident from here and from you being online, I became an online person because of COVID. So you have to understand that as a parent, as a family, we want to do everything that's best for our children because we love our children. So this is the research model, and when I saw this, I was like, what? That's a lot of numbers. I'm not really a math person. That's not how I learn things, but this comes from straight out of research. And this is a husband and wife team, Thomas and Collier, and what they did together, first of all, there was a twinkle in their eye, and they said, hey, I like bilingual education. Oh, me too. And then they got married. And then they combined their research. It was so exciting. If you don't laugh, it just gets longer and longer. So they became these researchers. And look when they started in 2001. Now it's 2023. And if you start looking, this is a pointer? Is this a pointer? Yes? Okay. It goes through, never mind. Okay, so let's look at the colors. And if you start seeing, these are the grades. So in first grade, we're all kind of starting in that same platform. We're all starting because whether we know English, Spanish, Mandarin, Korean, we're barely starting with this platform and we're all on the same place. Yes, and that is gonna be first grade. And from first grade, you start seeing the different programs kind of fluctuate when it's pull out ESL, that's the red, the content ELD, that's the purple, the early exit is the aqua, the late exit is the yellow, one-way dual is pink, and two-way dual is blue. So if you notice, still, this is all research. This is not things in, Ms. Monsivais' head. This has to say that when it comes to third grade, you already start seeing the growth and you start seeing the gaps develop because our students right now are unfortunately having to close a lot of learning gaps. And then in fifth grade, as you see, still the blue continues to move forward. Look at seventh grade. And then ninth grade, but look at 11th grade. Wow, I don't know about you, but I want to make sure that my child, when she is in 11th grade, that she is way above the rest, that she's getting those scholarships, that she has the capacity to do whatever it is that her, teenage brain wants to process and do in the future. So this is Thomas and Collier. So let's look at the goals of the program. Every program has goals. Sanelli is fortunate enough to have been working with Dr. Jose Medina. He is a guru in dual language. We support him and we understand that the first goal is gonna be bilingualism and biliteracy. We want our students to be able to process in Spanish as well for them to process in English. The second one is we want them to have that grade level academic achievement. That is very important for us to have the grade level achievement as far as their other peers are concerned. And then the last one is having that cross-cultural competence. How important it is for us to be able to carry in within different cultures and be able for them to be supported. So here we are. What is the first pillar? The first pillar that we have specifically on this slide, and this is Dr. Jose Medina, these are not my words, it is that is our first goal in dual language. We want students to learn content via the two languages. We want them to be able to speak, read, write, and listen in English. So I know I have some people up here in the crowd, and I like to get my crowd going when I have a mic in my hands. So everybody do this with me. R-S-L-W. So we're gonna do this together. R-S-L-W. Now with your hands, because something is happening with your brain when you move your hands. Everybody with your hands. R-S-L-W. And now with a little bit of R-S-L-W. Woohoo! Let's give you all a fabuloso. Fabuloso. And you're watching online too. Someone stood in line the other day, you know, they always wait to talk to me. And this guy, he was like committed, and I said, yeah, yes sir, how can I help you? He says, I just want to know what fabuloso do you use at your house? And guess what I said? What kind? What color? Purple. That's right, purple. It's the only way to go. So we understand that our students need to read, speak, listen, and write in English. That is important, but they also need to be able to do that successfully in Spanish. So what do we want them to do? This is beyond going a traditional foreign language course. The beauty of dual language is that when we start dual language when they're in kinder, and we have them do those 5 years, when they leave elementary, they're gonna have 1 high school credit. And that kind of needs a drum roll. Everybody, drum roll. 1 high school credit. So I don't know about you, but anytime that my child can have another space for her in her high school years, we want her to have that extra credit already going in elementary. So powerful. So here is the second pillar. It is to make sure, like we said before, is our students are having that high academic achievement, and also knowing that our students are going to excel in all of their content areas. They're going to be able to excel in math. They're going to be able to excel in science, in social studies, because when you start looking at the way that language develops, the base of the higher academic language is Latin. So when you start looking at cognates like chocolate, chocolate, my favorite, oh, okay. Then you start saying, wow, that base root is going to help me process when I'm taking Biology 1, when I am taking World Geography. A lot of that knowledge base is going to be there for our students. And I love this because Dr. Medina says, often dual language educators are mistaking and thinking that only content areas must be offered in both language. But yet, we want to make sure that we are offering our other electives in Spanish. And that is just a mind, whoosh. That's my mind right now. Whoosh. Because we want to make sure that our students are also learning music through Spanish. When they're learning art in Spanish, because that again is the, we want to make sure that they are successful. Keep time on me, yes? We're good? Yeah, okay. The third pillar is social cultural competence. That, if we start thinking of social cultural competence, that's the thing that our students are lacking. As a mom, I can tell you that sometimes, because whether it was we went through a pandemic or our students are addicted to social media, yeah, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room, which is social media. TikTok, no, Insta, el Face. Even my mom has Facebook. I was like, what? Love it. But it's true. That has become a lot of times the way that our students communicate. And we have to also teach them, what does it mean to have social cultural competence? What does it mean to actually make eye contact with somebody and give them a little pat on the back? So we need to understand that the students that are in dual language, they're able to see the similarities and differences in each other, but rather they identify with the difference as obstacles to overcome. They should be viewed as opportunities to connect. So when you start having this dual language community come together, they become like a little family. You know, here at work, you have your work family, yes? Everybody has a little work family, and that's what happens because our students spend so much time in school. And I see it here in San Eli. When I go with my pre-Kers, they're a family because we know that they're able to say, hey, I don't see that you're different. We see we're learning together. So I love talking about the brain because it is the most important muscle we need to develop. In 2023, we all started working out again, right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna start walking, you know? But this is what's happening. Our students have a muscle that they sometimes do not know how to use. And I say that as a parent. So we have to say, okay, what are those benefits that dual language is going to teach me when I'm using this? The first one is attention, because people who speak two languages often outperform monolinguals. Again, this is not me saying this. It is at Commence, one of the researchers that we've been using, and we know that it's hard for us to pay attention. Because there's so many distractions now in the world. I'm distracted with this, I'm distracted with that, and our students are distracted. So when I am developing two languages in your brain, then I'm able to say, wow, okay, I know I'm gonna be a little bit more focused when I'm learning. The second one is empathy. Young children being raised bilingual have to follow social cues to figure out which language to use. And I see this so much with my pre-Kers. You know, I love to talk about stories of when I was in San Eli. And one of the best stories that I say was, we bring Texas Education Agency. We love Texas Education Agency. We support them. And when we had one of our directors come in, one of our students was showing him his drawing. You know, he was probably like 4. And he's telling her in Spanish, yes, you know, this is my family and this is my sister, you know, and her name is Daina. And then so our boss says, oh, okay, Daniela. And then the little boy says, Daina. He was sounding out the syllables, Daina. So how smart is it for that child to say, oh, I'm gonna help you, adult. Let me help you say my sister's name. So I tell that story everywhere. And the other one is reading. They outperform their peers. So if you're listening at home, I don't know about you, but sometimes our teenagers don't always like to read. Yeah, and so we have to make that safe space for them to say, hey, that's an expectation because it has to do with their cognitive ability. So here we go. What is another brain benefit? Another brain benefit is going to be the school performance and engagement. This is studies in 37 districts found that compared with English-only classrooms, again, the test scores are higher. And I talk about test scores because it is important for us to follow our students' testing. If they're going to be a doctor, they have to take the MCAT. If they're going to be a lawyer, they have to take the LSAT. If we want to be a teacher, we have to take the Texas. Yes? So we need to make sure that we're teaching our children at home and our children to know how to master our tests because it is a genre. The next one is diversity and integration. It helps students to belong. So I don't know about you, but there's been times in my life where I'm like, why am I here? Yes? Yes, no, only me, okay, it's okay. And imagine, you know, you're 14 and you're navigating through the world and you're just trying to belong. But when you're in a dual language community, you have that family that's gonna support you. The next one is protection against cognitive decline and dementia. As I get close to 50, I'm just gonna say it, I'm gonna be 50 soon. And you know, I realize there's certain things that I can start doing to get myself ready. I can start preventing dementia, but hey, I don't have to wait to do it this year. It can start in first grade. It can start in pre-kinder. It can start at home. So we wanna make sure that we know what all of those brain benefits are. So, as we wrap up, I think I have 5 minutes minutes left. I just want to make sure that we understand the most important thing is the testimony of being in a dual language community. I was a dual language teacher when I was an educator. I was a dual language administrator, and I had a great thing happen to me last week. We all went to have lunch, yes, and I still have some of my students that are here from the university. And I seldom see them, but sometimes I run into them, and I love it because they still treat me like I'm Justin Bieber. Like, oh, Miss Monsiváis, And I'm like, hey, but I'm punched, no? Too much? No? Okay. And these gentlemen, they came up to me and they were like, Miss Monsiváis, thank you. These are monolingual students who I taught how to speak Spanish. And they said, remember you taught us? Que vergüenza. Because I'd be like, oh no, you cannot do that. And I'm like, okay, now you're 25. But again, it was a sense of community and belonging. And we need to understand that in Sanelli, you're the pioneers. You're building this pathway of success because our students deserve it. They deserve to have these amazing high expectations. And I'm going to tell you, because we go to many, many school districts, the beauty of Sanelli to me has been the sense of passion. This is what your superintendent told me again this morning, and I can see it. And I know that dual language is going to flourish because every single one of you here and you online, that we're going to understand what are the brain benefits and all of the benefits of being in a dual language program. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Ms. Monsiváis. And I just want to share that, yes, we worked together at Zambrano years back. She was our first grade teacher when I was the parent liaison there at Zambrano. Thank you, Ms. Monsiváis. Next, we want to welcome our new Nutrition Service Director, Ms. Aggie Reyes.
Hi, good morning, everybody. What an energizing speech. I love it. My name is Aggie Reyes. I am the new Nutrition Director for San Elizario I.S.D, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to have joined such a thriving team, and I'm just full of excitement for the future. Our students do deserve the best, and I'm so happy and so proud to represent very hardworking employees in each cafeteria that truly lead with heart. And I only look forward to getting better, growing off of where we are now and always getting better. Buenos días, mi nombre es Aggie Reyes, yo soy la directora del Departamento de Nutrición de San Elizario I.S.D y estoy tan contenta de ser parte de este equipo que están llenos de energía, así como lo acabamos de escuchar, y de representar a empleadas de las cafeterías que realmente les encanta su trabajo y hacen todo con su corazón. Queremos seguir dándole lo mejor a nuestros estudiantes porque ellos se los merecen y estoy tan excitada, tan contenta y nada más quiero seguir creando mejores cosas para este distrito tan bello. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes. And I personally want to thank Ms. Reyes because when I emailed her to please make the time to come and introduce herself to our Mission Progressing Together, she offered to bring us samples of our San Elizario tamales. So we have tamales here for our parents to get a taste of our tamales that are being served in our food cafeterias. Next, I want to make the time to introduce our campus liaisons. First, we have Ms. Becca. She is from Loya Primary. Next, we have Ms. Guerrero Sosa. She is the parent liaison from Zambrano. Next, we have Ms. Emma Perez. She is our parent liaison for Borrego Elementary. Next, we have Ms. Janet Natividad. She is our parent liaison from Alepco. And I want to make the time to introduce our new parent liaison from GEM. She is our new parent liaison and is Ms. Paloma Reuseco. Welcome, Ms. Paloma. Finally, we have Ms. Portillo. She's our parent liaison from San Elizario High School. Thank you, ladies, for being part of our committee. Next, We have the section of question and answers with Dr. Mesa, as well with our administrators. In your clipboards, we have added a white index card for you to write any questions or comments that you might have for our administrators or Dr. Mesa.
All right, and as promised, we're here. If you have any questions, you're welcome to fill out the index cards, but you're also welcome. I know we have somebody with a microphone. Do we have any questions from our parents that are here?
Does it have to be in regards to the meeting of today, or it's like any changes that the district is doing?
You can ask any questions for us. We make the time so that we can try our best to respond to your questions.
Well, we had received an email months ago regarding the district changing it to 4 days
Yes, ma'am.
from Tuesday to Friday.
Mhm.
So did you guys already approve that?
Actually, the board meeting is tomorrow, so the board members will be discussing that, and it's all dependent on what the board decides.
Are the parents going to be able to vote for that or no?
The parents are not going to be able to vote for that. That is a board decision. I know that we did have 2 meetings in the fall, and so that's where we stand for that. If you'd like, we can meet more afterwards if you have any more questions on that, but it is up for board discussion tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I do.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, Ms. Flores is going to go through what is in the packet so that parents at home, make sure that you're also getting that information as well. With that being stated, Ms. Flor, before we close it out.
Yes, I'm just gonna go over the flyers that we had on our clipboards. That way parents can keep that information with them. As you know, Ms. Alvarez and Ms. Georgina Diaz, they shared the information regarding our 2023 Literary Anthology. That information is on your clipboards. Please make sure that if you wanna be part of it, you fill out the information, or we have a sign-in sheet here for you to sign up and let us know that that you're interested in participating. As well, we have the information for our Latino literacy as well. The information and the dates are there for you to be part of our Latino literacy project. It's on Fridays, every Friday for the month of February, and the information is there as well. Also, I have included the meetings, the calendar for our meetings for the Mission Progressing Together for this school year as well. All the information provided on the clipboards is for you to take home and have at home. Also, we have added some flyers for our upcoming parent meetings. We would like for you to be part of those meetings. They're very interested. If you have any question regarding any of the information given at your clipboard, the parent liaisons are here to assist you with that as well, and myself. Before we leave, I just want you to please make the time to fill out the evaluation that you have there and give it to one of our parent liaisons here. Are there any other questions or comments that our parents have before we end our Mission Progressing Together meeting? No?
Very good. So thank you, Ms. Flor. Always great to be on this journey with you. We know of all the places that our parents could be this morning. You chose to be here with us, Mission Progressing Together. We will see you again next month, and remember that we do send this information out in an electronic newsletter because we understand that not everybody can make the meetings. With that being said, thank you and have a great day.